I flipped $100 to $120,000 for an investor after learning how to catch every candle that form every day. This changed my student's life. And if you watch this video to the end and follow all this step and you do not get similar result like this, I will pay you $100. Number one, to catch every candle, you need to stop waiting for retest. Stop waiting for price to liquidate this low, then come back up and then you sell. And stop waiting for price to liquidate that high and then come back there and then you buy. That method is too slow. You want to be very fast. And two, you don't want to go and be gambling every candle. Like when the candle pops up, you just want to enter because I say you should catch every candle. No, there are some secrets you need to learn, which I'll teach in this video before you can do this. But before that, what's the 5-step entry model to profit from every candle? The first step is that you want to look for 3 candles, 3 bullish candle and 3 bearish candle. And this 3 candle must not follow a pattern whereby there's 2 bullish candle and then a bearish candle, or there's a bearish candle then a bullish candle and then another bearish candle. That's not what you're looking for. It must either be trending upward or downward. Simple. So that said, go to your chart and when you see the rotten candles, which is green, red, green, you don't want to make this your area of interest. Area of interest in the sense that when you get everything aligned together, the candles the same color, you want to get lower time frame confirmation here, which I'll be teaching you as we go, and then chase higher prices or lower prices depending on the trend. That said, you want to ignore the rotten eggs, wait for price to go forward, and if you look at that point there, you see that was a green candle, then the second one, and then the third one. But please don't make this your entry points. For you to enter at this point, the candle has to be red, so you can't buy at this point. Instead, you can make this area of interest, because to buy in an uptrend, the candle has to be red. So this is the only 3 candles that fulfill the criteria. But sorry is your name if you see those 3 bullish candle and then decide to sell. You will lose your money. You see 3 bearish candle and then decide to buy, you will still lose your money. That's why you need to use all these confirmations. Then 2, you want to mark a range around the 3 candles, and most people are going to mark this point here, but that's the wrong place to mark, considering the fact that this was the ending of the short term trend. Like you can see, price was going up and then the trend ended with this red candle. So is this red candle that you are going to mark, and you are going to draw it to that point here. After that, you drop lower to lower time frame. But let me just skip to my main entry. So basically, I repeated the same thing on my main entry. So I looked for the end of trend and I saw 2, but I missed the first one. So basically, I'm going to be marking this whole range here. But if you look at this whole range, you can see that there's 1, 2, 3 candles here, which isn't a sign to go in, but just the area of interest. And when you drop down to lower time frame, you want to look for 3 bearish candle because the trend is still up. But if you look at this point there, you can see this was incomplete. But then after we saw this, we saw 3 green candle. This should not be a signal for you to go in because the trend is still in an uptrend. So you want to look for 3 bearish candle before you buy. So if you don't see it, you drop down to 15-minute time frame again and look for that 3 bearish candle again. But as you can see, we missed that move there, and I didn't even get to confirm it because you have to confirm the buys before you enter. So instead of using my secret confirmation, I used inverse price action, which is a inverse fair value gap at that point there, which is very risky. I won't recommend you use it, but if I didn't use it, I would have missed out on this move. But just so you know, if you don't use the secret confirmation, this is what happens. 1, 2, 3, and then price will just shoot up and then you get liquidated at the end of the day. But if you use the secret conversation, this is what happens. Price spikes up and keeps going, and even that point there, you can even get a range at that point because that's the sweet zone. And that was the only reason why I was buying at this point, because I added that small stuff. But the secret confirmation is really what took that account to this number here, and I'll still show you guys how we do that. And so you don't blow your account. For the 5th step, if you want to be spamming entries like this, you want to make sure you lock it. First way to lock it is with a minor supply or demand zone. So spam at the low of the tip and at the high of the tip, which is what I did here. Then the second way is with a upper consolidation or range and a lower consolidation or range. That's it. And this is just the level 1 of spamming. I'll still tell you the level 2 and the level 3 and the level 4. Level 2 is when you highlight it or align it with a higher time frame block there, which is down there. The remaining spamming techniques come later, and this is just the base of the base. I'm not even using the secret method, and I was able to get results like this. But with this strategy, you won't be able to sustain wins like this, so you need to up your game. That's why we tell people to watch videos to the end and use every confirmation. But some people will not hear word, and then they'll come to my DM and be telling me so and so. See, look, this is what happens when you don't use secret confirmation, and when you don't use the next step, which I'm going to teach you. What is going to happen is that you are going to see these 3 candles and then you are going to buy, and then when you buy, everything is going to be going well. You can see price is spiking, going up. I was spamming as it was going up. All the spamming technique was like spot on, but yet something happened, something unexpected. You can see I was in good profit. I thought it was going to be good, everything was going to be fine, price is going to reach the top there. But the market has other plans, because if you don't have enough confirmation, there is no enough momentum or orders to push price up to where you want, and that was how I was losing the account. And by God, only by God grace did I not lose everything, and I closed, and then I was back to my profit. This is just by luck. And that was when I started using stronger confirmation. And although the secret confirmation is stronger, I'm going to show you some trap market mover set and how you can counter it. And so you don't lose the next trade, you want to use it on the nearest PDRAs around. That's it. So basically, when you get your PDRA, which is at that point there, what you want to do is that you want to wait for price to go down, then create a range, a consolidation range, and then after creating that range, you want to wait for price to liquidate that range, the lower part first, and then liquidate the higher part. This is what should happen on the period, and then price should come back, retest, and then go back up. And if you look at that period, that's what happened. Price came down, then consolidated for some time, and now it is breaking out. But the thing about this is that I'm not supposed to have impact, and I was almost losing my account here. This is what happened. That's why I'm showing you guys this part. It is not as easy as it looks. If you make one mistake, if you skip one step, this is what happens. But then it started going up, and that was a risky attempt. You see, the first time I almost blew the account. This second time, when I missed one step, when I tried to ignore one step, I also almost blew my account. This is the reality of trading. That's what is stopping you people from getting to where you want. You are skipping step, and you're not supposed to do that. It's not about learning the strategy, it's about learning the confirmation and the step-by-step things the guy or someone who does the stuff you want to do did, and you must follow everything. Think say I did joke. No worry, go try am. But I didn't like this pony stuff I'm seeing, because this is not gonna get me to my 100k target. So what I did is that I waited because I was expecting price to get to that top there. That's it. You want to wait for price to get to this top there, and then you close. Or you want to set a particular number, let's say it's 10, 5, 2, or 3, or even 4. What you want to do is that you want to be watching. Put your hands at that close up position and be watching as the numbers are reading. You don't want to be doing anything. You need to be focused, because this is life and death situation. If you miss it by seconds, you are going to lose the whole win. And you can see price was almost approaching that point there, and it was almost reaching my target. So I went back there, and then I kept my hand at close all positions. And what you want to do is you want to start waiting.
waiting, and then as soon as it spikes that point, that's when you want to close.
So this is the most important part. This is where it flip that 5k 6k by 20 times, and this is very simple if you get or use every single confirmation that I'll be teaching you now, because this confirmation is top tier. If you don't use it, this is what's going to happen. You can see the trend is in a downtrend. So basically what we want to be looking for is 3 green candle, and if it is an uptrend, you look for the opposite, which is 3 bearish candles. So if you look at that point, you can see that there's 1 2 3 candle there. But what happened? Price rejected, and then after that tiny rejection, it just liquidates your destiny. That means if your stop loss was at that point here, you would have lost every single kobo, and if you lose everything, then you'll be back to square one, and that's not what you want to go through. And for this third trade, every trade entry model is slightly different. For this third entry model, you want to copy what happened or what worked in the past few hours and then recreate it, because one pattern works twice every day. That means it's supposed to work before in a particular day, is going to work or is going to follow a similar pattern that same day. So you want to exploit this, and how I exploit this is that I saw 3 bearish candle and saw price spike up very aggressively, and then saw another 3 green candle and saw that price did not spike up aggressively, and then I asked myself, why did this happen? And I figured out the answer, and the answer was that if you go up to higher time frame, you realize that the zone which had more volume and which made price spike up for longer had PDRAs backing it up. So that's one of the PDRAs, and you can call this one a PDRA, but I don't think this is valid. And if you think this loophole doesn't work, look at this one there. You can see that this candle was giving you 3 this thing, but the momentum was not that much because there was no PDRA backing it up. But you can see that then another opposite candle formed, and then there was like one PDRA here and then another PDRA here, and what do you see price do? Price shoots up. Even this red candle that I was showing did not even have enough momentum to like even come and liquidate that point, because there was a lot of volume at this point there. And if you go on higher time frame again, which is on 1 hour time frame, you are going to see that another PDRA was literally backing up that point where there was the consolidation below was supporting this point. Why this point here was supporting this point? Why this fair value gap here was not supporting this point? You can see how everything is supporting each other. That's it. The main reason for our entry is because of these 3 green candidates. So how do we manage it? You manage this entry by supporting your entry with more entries on 1 minute time frame. And one look at price action here, you can see that there was some consolidation happening here. If any consolidation happen and a zone is beneath that consolidation, that's a good confirmation, and that's a sign that the zone below or the entry below is going to hold. And you can see 2 consolidation happen at this point here, and then if you look carefully, you can even see that there's another block around that point there. That's the second confirmation. And then if you go to like 5 minute time frame, we have more. Like if you look around that yellow line to the other side, you see that there is a breaker block there, and also there is something like a head and shoulder pattern forming, but this head and shoulder is not really like legit, so but it's there. And then you can see that at this point the price was rejecting at this point there, and then it broke out and then rejected for some time around this point there, and this is what we call a bull bear trap. And you can see that that was literally what supported price at this point here. And at this moment in time, we're just sitting at 2k, not even 5k, and that was then I knew that I had to do something else, because price was already rejecting. As you can see, it was rejecting because of that demand zone there. That is why you want to make sure you don't have PDRs around your zone. That's it, or else you'll be going through all these unnecessary bad boosts. And for the third step, you want to utilize liquidity magnet. That's if you are going to enter more position. But if you just want to walk away with this profit, you don't want mad profits, then don't look for liquidity magnet, because this liquidity magnet here is only for this point to this point. If one price go below this point there, you need outer liquidity magnet like fair value gap and the likes of that. And if you look at this point there, you can see if you mark this point here, this point and this point here, what do you see happening? You see something like a trend line forming. Or if you mark only these 2 points, you see something like a equal high or a bit low liquidity forming. That's a good confirmation. And then after seeing that, you want to mark it, or you can just leave it like that. And then if you look carefully, you can see that the drop started happening there. So our target is that at least it does times 2 of this, break out of that low, and then target that lower point there. But there's a probability that I will close and re-enter again, because they are not allowing me to enter another position, which is trickish, and I really want to max out this move. And if I let things go on, it's not really going to give me good profit, so it's even better I close and then enter again. So I closed and used the fourth entry model, and this one is very interesting. So from this moment in time, we can see I was seeing that price is going to give me some bullish price action. So what I did is that I pinpoint my entry, and then I started sniping at the low. You can see that green candle made price drop. So now I was looking to ride the momentum back up. And the first thing I did for this entry model is that after entering my position, what I did is that I wanted to use every single ounce of this balance, which is 14k. So what I did is that I was just spamming buy stop. This thing, what do they call it? So how you spam buy stop like a profitable trader is you want to spam it every 5 pip or every 3 pip, and you want to be increasing lot size. Let's say after you have already had normal position, if the normal place position you can open is 1 lot size, you want to at least enter 1 of 1 lot size, and then in the next trade you increase it by 1 again, so that's 2 lot size. And then if price is not going up space small, you need to give it space. You spam entry. This time you don't use buy this thing, you spam your entry, and then you will now start adding another buy stop at the point there. But you don't want to increase it yet. Yes, you don't want to increase it yet. You need to add at least 2 more. That's what I used to do. I'll first add small position, then increase that small position, and then enter that increased lot size, which is 2 lot size again, and then enter it again, and then enter it again. And then maybe when price the profit is now entering 100%, is already you are already making 100% of your stuff, then you can now start increasing the lot size. And there's a point whereby you will start increasing it very well. Don't worry, I'll teach you when you get to that point. So now I've already upped the lot size from 2 to 5 now, because at this point in time, this is where the real breakout is going to occur at. So now that I've increased it to 5, I want to keep using that 5. That's it. You want to keep using that 5, so you can just enter that 5 or just reduce it, something like that. And if you look at that point there, you can see that 5 did not enter. That was why I reduced it to 3 lot size there. and I added another 3 lot size. This is me trying to research how much I can enter on a particular lot size, because most of the time your entries is not going to enter. You might put 5 and then it's just cancel, it's not going to like tag it in. So that's when you now reduce it again, which is what I did. I reduced to from 5 to like 3, and then I hit 7. Like, dude, 7, because that 3 and lot size, assuming it tags me in, then 7 will not be like any issue. This is me having network issues here, but like this stuff did not want to tag me in. Like, what the f is that 7 did not go. That's to show you that the equity and the distance too much. And this is when my TG started running. Like, look, like, who the f, like, look at that TG. And at this point in time, I was just hitting like 2. And you can see how it is growing, how we are almost hitting our targets. So basically, this one is my personal account. Every trade I take on my personal account, which I'm using to do the YouTube video, is automatically logged in on my other phone, and it was from this point I managed everything. I was entering more position from this phone, so I was holding the 2 phone on my hand, and then I was spamming more entries on this point here. And when I was spamming entry, the balance kept reducing. And if you look at this point there, you can see that they were not able to get to a point that they stopped allowing me to enter position. Like, I'll enter even 0.01 lot size and it's showing not enough money. Like, it's crazy how the brokers does not want you to make money.
As for the secret confirmation, first thing, you want to trade only when there's volume. Second thing, you want to align your entries at every breakout and pullback. Third thing, only trade New York session. Fourth thing, if you are going to swing, make sure there's no opposition block at the other side. This will make price spike up or trend very, very fast. As for number 5, pray. And if you like, miss next week account management. It's only the fastest person that gets it. Not that you'll be telling me that why have all the slots we got taken. So like and sub. See you guys in the next video, please.